National Park. The latest details coming up.
We've got the heat and humidity and still looking at an isolated storm or two over the next few hours. And because of that, we'll continue our first alert weather day. But we've got some big changes in the overall weather pattern. We're going to talk more about that coming up in just a bit. Your news starts now.
From WBKO News, local, first, now. This is WBKO News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Allie Hennard. Our top story at 6, a man has been arrested in connection to a homicide in Bowling Green. It's our top story at 6. According to Bowling Green police, they responded to a welfare check on Saturday on 22-year-old Alexandra Human at 1043 Winter Circle. Officers found Human dead from an apparent homicide. BGPD says they identified 25-year-old David A. Prophet of Bowling Green as the suspect. Early Saturday evening, BGPD says Prophet was found outside of Fishers, Indiana, and was taken into custody without incident. Right now, he is charged with murder and theft by unlawful taking, and he currently is in the jail there in Fishers, Indiana, waiting to be transported back to Warren County. BGPD says they expect additional charges as they present their case to the grand jury. New details tonight on a fatal crash on Nashville Road. Warren County Sheriff's Office says 84-year-old Raymond S. Sweetser died following the accident involving a Harley-Davidson and a Nissan yesterday. It happened around noon at the intersection of Nashville Road and Ridge Pond Road. The driver and passengers of the Nissan were not injured in the collision. New tonight, officials from Mammoth Cave National Park are asking for your help in identifying a group of vandals they say damaged park property between July 5th and August 8th. WBKO's Sarah Phipps tells us more on this case and what you can do to help. What was once the heart of the Joppa region is now the heart of an investigation, as Mammoth Cave officials are looking for the individuals responsible for repeated acts of vandalism against Joppa Missionary Baptist Church. Officials say the vandals have broken windows, kicked indoors, and painted graffiti on the church walls. Molly Schroer, Public Information Officer for Mammoth Cave National Park, says while officials have been able to take care of most of the damage, it's not the same as your average home repair.
We work through our cultural resources, and they review what the item is, how it could be repaired. We sometimes have to consult the State Historic Preservation Office to see if it's too much, to find out the correct way to do it. We try to fix it with like type materials, but that can be difficult to do on a structure that was built in the early 1900s.
Individuals caught damaging structures or natural surfaces in the park can face fines up to $5,000 and 6 months in jail. Anyone with information on the vandals is asked to contact Mammoth Cave Law Enforcement at 270-758-2115. Reporting in Mammoth Cave, Sarah Phipps, WBKO News.
We've certainly had the heat and humidity going for us today, and we're watching some storms a little bit further to the north. You can see this cold front right here on the southern edge of it. Out in the western Kentucky, there's not a whole lot of development, so I think really for northern parts of the viewing area, that's where we have a better chance of seeing a couple of those storms as we head into the evening hours here. But a couple of very stray showers out there. You can see even one into Edmonson County right now. So we will have a few showers to deal with, and then that front kicks through and we're good on the rain for a little while. Your weather headlines as we continue into the evening hours. Just an isolated shower or storm, but still heavy rain, gusty winds. Can't be totally ruled out. That's why we're continuing our first alert weather day. Temperatures right now, we are in the 80s out there, lower and middle 80s, but boy, we've got some big changes coming up ahead. A lot of kids going back to school tomorrow. 68 degrees at the bus stop, feeling great, and still wonderful into the afternoon. We'll talk about the long haul and some good dry weather coming up in that 7-day in just a bit.
Well, last week we told you about Western Kentucky University freshmen going back to school. It's the college kids' turn now. It was a rainy start this morning as freshmen at WKU moved into their dorms. The move-in days are part of WKU's master plan, which stands for Making Academic and Social Transitions.
The 7-day forecast. First Alert Weather, sponsored by Med Center Health.
Well, we definitely saw the rain early this morning. Great way to start the week. on a
Yes,
gloomy
right.
day, but some things to look forward to, David. Highs in the 70s. We haven't seen that in I don't know how long.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks just want me to kind of skip the evening forecast, do away with these rain showers, and just talk about the 7 day because we do get.
I guess I'm one of those.
Yes, well, I am too. We got a nice taste of fall, but the summer heat is still in there, but it's going to be a dry stretch as we do look ahead. Now, we're still monitoring that chance for a few storms over the next couple hours here. Going to look outside in Russellville right now, and we do have the red banner because we do have our first alert weather day. That continues. We're going to continue it until this cold front clears the area. We're not really looking at much in terms of even storm coverage, but we will have a few isolated storms over the next few hours. The breeze is up, the humidity is up, and that heat is certainly up with those temperatures in the lower 80s out there. A few spots like Elizabethtown, 79 degrees, 84 in Albany, Burkesville, 84, and back into Elkton, 82 degrees. Max storm, we're noticing those storms farther to the north and to the west here, but you can see that the storms getting closer to Madisonville out there to Hopkins County, there's not really much there. There's actually better development with the storms further to the northeast here, and this line of storms is more likely to have a bigger impact on, say, the Louisville area, but I think a couple of storms over the next few hours will try to develop a little bit further to the south, and we may be able to sneak a couple of heavier downpours in there, as Future Max will show. We're at 7 o'clock here. You can see a couple of those isolated storms by around 9, 10 o'clock, and then after midnight, most of the showers, any of the few showers out there are basically out, and then we're going to really dry things out. It's going to feel wonderful as the kids are heading off to the bus stop, and I know a lot of kids get the jitters on the first day. At least the weather's going to help us out a little bit. We got some sunshine out there, and then by the afternoon for your kids' soccer practice, we are expecting some glorious weather. Temperatures just into the upper 70s. Next 2 days really look great right on into the middle of the week. And rain over the next 5 days, we have not seen a forecast like this in a while. Weather models indicating no rain expected through the middle of the week and then right on into the weekend as well. But as we get a peek at that weekend forecast, you'll notice that the summer heat is building back up. We've got those highs back into the 90s. Humidity levels will start to creep back up. But for the work week here, we are expecting humidity levels to be pretty low. So even as those temperatures warm by Thursday and Friday, it's still not going to be terribly hot. For tonight, we've got a few of those isolated evening storms, generally before 10, 11 o'clock. Temperatures on the overnight were coming down into the middle 60s. And then as we look at your Tuesday, a great way to wake up in the morning with those temperatures in the 60s and 70s. And then during the afternoon, we're only into the middle 70s. And we will notice some scattered areas of clouds out there for your Tuesday and Wednesday, around 80 degrees on Wednesday. And then we're heating things back up Thursday, Friday, and then into the weekend. You'll notice the lows, though, they're staying down into the 60s, and that's an indication that we won't have a huge spike in the humidity, although it does start to go up a little bit over the weekend.
Well, it's not too late to reserve your $100 ticket for the St. Jude Dream Home giveaway happening this fall. The money helps pay for 6